All right, we're going to give you a lesson for our Sam's Gospel Music course. We're going to put you in the key of E flat. Now, by this time, we're hoping that many of you have learned where the key of E flat is found, and of course all the scales and the chords that are available to you in the key of E flat. So we'll be doing this song, I Love You, Lord, today, a very well accepted praise song. Now, the original part of the song would actually start in D major, transpose up to E flat, and then transpose up to F. We're going to do just the E flat portion of it for this lesson, as again we're going to cover a lot, so we're not going to give it to you all at one time, just in pieces. So again, if you're a Hammond organ player, which is what we're teaching this course for, we want to put you in praise. When I say this is our praise setting, which means not really harsh tones. Now again, depending upon how your organ setup is, we're using a simulated one, so we know that we have, as you might say, perfect repair state. Tubes are not worn out, speakers are not cracked, so it's got the purest sound a computer could possibly generate. Of course, we can change into our settings here, as you've seen earlier, and select maybe the type of organ that you have. Let's say we went with an open 122, let's say. Not really as brash as I'm looking for. Let's see what we can perhaps pick. Let's bring up our drive a bit. Oh, anyway, again, you know my favorite is the DI box sound. I think I'll drive down a bit, bring our bass up just a touch. Here we go. And again, my praise settings, you go from 0 to 8. I like 7, 4, 6, 4, perhaps 1, and on the high end, again, depending upon the sound or tone coming out, something that's going to give me that little high pitch right there. So when I kick on a Leslie, you can hear some little difference in the actual tone. So now you know the melody. I'm listening to it, I'm hearing a little bit too muddiness, so let's adjust some of our, there we go, okay, for melody wise. Now what happens here is that when a person is singing this, you don't want to overpower them as a musician, and I know a lot of musicians feel that the need to play full out on every song, but certain songs you got to be able to pull back and let the person, whoever is ministering, singing the song, or the congregation, let the song breathe through them first. You as the musician can fill in the chords. Basic chord. That's a little bit heavy for what I want it to sound like right now. Let's cut back on our bass just a bit, because again, from a musician standpoint, a lot of what you do is to accompany what's happening in the service. Now, if you're in concert, as I will cover later on in one of our courses, then you can go full out. But when especially doing a praise and worship time of the service, it really doesn't call for, unless of course the song is a high-powered one, then you can go for broke in a sense. So you want to be able to adjust your drawbars where you can accompany the melody yet not be so brash in your tone. So what I find I do is I am constantly adjusting my drawbars when I'm playing. Of course, it's a little difficult here when you have to stop and use the mouse for this particular program, but this is again a practice session. Once you find that sound that you hear it sounds good for you, then you try to duplicate that once you get on a real Hammond B3. Leslie sound. One of the most beautiful things attached to a Hammond organ, electronic organ, is the Leslie, that rotating speaker or whirling speakers, the top tweeter, and then the lower cone that rotates, that gives a new reverberation or swirling effect to your sound. So, am I one of those musicians that is clicking the Leslie on every 30 seconds? No. What I do is I try to picture in my mind where would it be most effective in the concert, in the context of the melody and where the song is going. So I may increase it only because I'm emphasizing musically where I can use those notes. So let's give you the entire song now. We've given you, again, we're going to be sharing a lot of tips and techniques. You're at the level now of this course where you know the song. We're just giving you the techniques that you can now use to help bring out the song more in your worship setting. Let's add a little bit of harmonics there. There we go. Now, you can't see my hands, but you can look at the keyboard. You can see that I play melody, I throw the right hand chords in, then I use the left hand to support, to give it that bottom melody. And it all has to flow, especially when you're doing praise and worship. A lot of musicians go from piano to organ, and they feel that they have to continue to play the notes. No, you still have the same notes, but now you have a different technique and a different approach. So you allow it to flow. You can't do that on a piano per se, but with an organ you have now the full foundation to really bring out an actual melody to a song. Okay, this is our first step in our Hammond organomics. Go back and review this film, or this lesson rather, and look for more coming, because it is our endeavor to assist you in becoming the best musician possible. See you next time.